Hello, stamping friends. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing great, and I'm having a little bit of jet lag here, I have to admit. We have been traveling again. I know we're crazy people. We planned 7 travel trips this year. Well, actually, between, I guess it was between May and August. So I know we're crazy people, but we did not know that the airlines were going to be crazy like this and the pilot shortage. But anyway, the reason I tell you that is we just got back from a wedding in Minnesota, and I actually had to pay for a full fare ticket home. Now, many of you maybe don't know that I used to work for the airlines for 20 years before I came at Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So basically, my whole married life, we got to travel for free. And so I've never really had to buy tickets before. So I can sympathize with all of you that buy full fare tickets all the time. Oh my goodness, I didn't know what a benefit that was, but I couldn't risk not getting home because I have classes on Monday. So anyway, here we are on Tuesday, and I have a really fun project to share with you. It's actually a project that I gave away, and I'm hoping the person I gave it to isn't watching today. I know that's bad to say, but I should rephrase that. I hope she got it before she sees this video. So I hope you enjoy it. It has to do with a little gift card, and I love making those. So I hope you like today's project. Now remember, I always put a project sheet on my blog so that if you want to download it, you can and follow along visually so you can print it off. And I also have a little pattern on there that you might want to download as well. Thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. I really do appreciate it. And make sure you share it. And also, if you could subscribe, then you'll get a little ding when I'm on live each time. So thanks again, everyone, for joining me. Most of you know Celebration is in full swing for the months of July and August. And one of the things that we're going to use today for our make and take is shown on page 4 and 5. We are going to play with Hippest Hippos today. We're going to use both the stamp set and the die set. Now, each of these are available for free if you place a $50 order. Now, if you are attending my Cozy Craft Retreat or getting a kit to go, this is going to be included in your swag bag. So make sure you don't get this one because you'll have doubles then. But you might want to grab this one. This coordinates so nicely, and there's a lot of extra little dies there that you can use as well. And then I want to flip to the back page and just remind you that if you decide you want to be a discount shopper and sign up, I would love, love, love to have you on my team. Look at what you get as a bonus for free. It's a cute little planner, and it's just gorgeous. And there's so many different dividers and different types of things that you can use. Not only the calendar, but there's 3 journaling notebooks, and there's goals and focuses and stickers and even a stamp set that goes with it. It's called Making Plans, and you can use that. And some people like to use planners as kind of like a journal or a diary to kind of recap your year. And these are worth about $45 to $50. So it's just a nice little added bonus. And I just invite you to join me on my team. I will post the link for that. And we have so much fun on the We Stamp team. Oh, I could go on and do a whole video on all the things we do, but I would just love it if you would join us and just give it a test drive and see if it works for you. You would start out with a 20% discount, and it can only go up from there. So please consider that, and let's chat about that if you'd like. All right, let's move on to our make and take. This is kind of a fun thing. I needed to make a card. I'm hoping the recipient does not see this before the video because I'm pretty sure she watches my videos. But we are going to play around with this and make kind of a fun, silly card. I love giving gift card holders, so it's going to be kind of a combo of that plus a card. All right, so we're going to start with our base, or the base of the card is real red, and it's cut to 8.5 by 5.5, and then I scored it in half on the long side. And let's just fold that in half, and then use your bone folder and make a nice crisp fold here so it lies flat. All right, how do you like it so far? All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build on this. So let's just set that aside for a minute. The next layer is going to be crushed curry. I know it probably seems like kind of an odd combination, red and crushed curry, but it'll make more sense later on. And then we are going to add this layer. And what I used here is this, let me grab it for you. It's called Deckled Rectangles. I love this. Doesn't it look like the old school photos, how they used to have those jagged edges? Or go back far and remember the deckled edge scissors. However, mine never turned out this straight of lines. So it's kind of a blast from the past, but it's kind of fun. But Stampin' Up! Makes it easy for us because we don't have to try to hand cut these. And look at every size that you can get. So this has really been a fun little die set to play with, and it's something different than we've had before. So let's just adhere these together. This is actually, well, here I flip it over. There's not a right and wrong side on this. There is, what was I going to say? Oh, this is the largest die from that set. And this is just basic white cardstock. I don't use the thick when I'm using layers, but I definitely use thick basic white when it's the base of the layer because it's a little bit thicker and more sturdy. All right, that's the next layer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the Amazing Thanks dies. I love this because I love word dies. And so I already cut it out. This is, again, real red and daffodil. Oops, I meant to do crushed curry. Hold on, let me go cut that. Hey, I'm back. The reason that I did that is because when I first designed this card, I used Daffodil Delight, and then I decided I wanted crushed curry. So, sorry. All right, then grab your silicone mat because we do not want to get glue on the back of your, or on your background, whatever you use. So we'll use multi-purpose liquid glue. Another thing that you can use is our awesome adhesive sheets. And let me get this going here. If you're gonna, if your glue stops up a little bit, I just keep a little pin within arm's reach because a lot of times this will clog up a little bit, but it's still worth getting this glue because there's nothing like it, but sometimes it gets a little bit stopped up. All right, I'm just gonna lightly add some tiny little dots. If you make them too big, it's gonna have like a gluey front and it'll splurt out the sides. So just kind of randomly make sure all the major points are covered. And I do like to get this little end too, because sometimes that one goes a little haywire. All right, then I want to show you a new product that we're going to be using, and you guys have to get this. This is our embossing kit. This is so great. We used to have one like this years ago, but I love that they made this a screw-on rather than a plug because I have two of these. I have a larger one and a smaller one from the old days, but it's a plug and I have lost one of them. So the embossing powder escapes because there's not a plug. And what you do is once you sprinkle the embossing powder and then you can put it back in the container and it goes out that little spout. So that's a nice little thing. We're not going to use that today, but I just wanted to show you the product. This is when you're embossing and you just want to brush away some of the excess where it maybe lands and you don't want it there. So that's what that brush is for. This is an embossing buddy and you want to use this before you start embossing, and it kind of gets rid of maybe the oils in your fingers, or if you know there's any embossing powder that sometimes that kind of sticks to the cardstock, but if you do this first, it will just make the surface better for making just the embossing powder to adhere to and not the other spots. But if you do happen to, just go back with the brush. All right, but the one we're going to use today is this tweezer, and probably every stamper already has a tweezer, but this one is so... it grips really, really tight. Mine does not grip like this at all. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but you can actually use this when you tie bows, and you can put it in the ribbon and hold it there and it's not going to move. And then you can do the rest of, the bow part before you tie and then pull it out. But I really recommend, the whole kit is worth it just for this really tight squeezing tweezer. I don't know how to explain that. But anyway, it's really a nice tool for picking things up as well. And so you don't have to try to use your fingers all the time. Sometimes when you're working with intricate things, it feels like you're all fingers and they get in the way. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to just keep trying to line it up and kind of just move it as you go, because the word thanks is so thin that sometimes it kind of moves around. And so you have to kind of place it so it goes where it needs to go. So, and again, it's crushed curry and real red, and that's going to coordinate with the rest of our card here. All right, we're going to put that aside now. Now, let me stack these over here. All right, let's get to the next part, and we are going to stamp our little hippo. So I have my basic white cardstock again, and I'm kind of using my silicone mat as a mat so I don't get this on my wood background. So let's just do Memento. Remember, Memento is what you use when you want to use blends, because if you use StazOn or maybe another ink, it's going to pull the color in it. And then I'm going to put this behind because our blends are pretty strong that they sometimes can bleed through a little bit. I don't think it would actually make it to my mat, but as long as it's here. All right, now we're going to color him in, and this is Smoky Slate. And you might notice I have some packing tape on one end of this. The reason I do that is because, as we know, chances are your blends are not going to run out of ink on both ends at the same time. Normally people use one end more than the other. And so when that happens, I always use packing tape and just tape it shut so I don't keep grabbing that. I waste 3 seconds of every day when I do that, when I grab the wrong end, because it doesn't work. So by putting tape on that, I gain my 3 hours back, or 3 seconds back in my day. And anyway, it's just kind of a good reminder that not to use that end. All right, now I'm going to go back with light real red, and we are going to make this a girl hippo. So let's put some fingernail polish on her and make her look a little more feminine. All right, now I'm going to go die cut this little hippo, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Here's our little hippo, and that turned out good. And we are going to set this aside, and the next thing we're going to build on is the gift card. I have to send a thank you gift. So this is McDonald's cute little gift card. Isn't this cute? I've been trying to figure out what these little blobs are. It's kind of like paint, but it's cute. It's more contemporary looking. And then I cut a piece of real red cardstock, and I just made it like 1/8 of an inch larger than the card. So 1/8 of an inch larger makes it 3.5 by 2 1/4. And so when I put this on the back, I'm not going to adhere it super tight, because I want her to be able to take it off easily. So I'm just going to use a little strip of tear and tape and just put a tiny bit here so that she can easily take it off. All right. Okay, now I am going to get my take a pick tool and just take that adhesive back off. Doesn't want to come off. The whole thing wants to come off. There we go. All right, then let's just stick this on. And like I said, it's going to be a really tight fit. I tried rounding the corners, but our corner rounder does not quite match up. So I'm just going to leave it with the edges. Plus you can see the red a little bit more. All right, let's assemble this card. The first thing I'm going to do is take our card front. Whoopsie, this moved a little bit. We might need a little bit more. I think that will work. I might have to add a little bit more. And then grab your dimensionals. And when I do the basic size here, I like to do all 4 corners. And then put 1 in the middle so it doesn't sag, like that. And just start taking the backs off. All right, now we'll grab our card front and just stick this in the middle. I always have to stand for this because when I try to sit and do this, my big head always gets in the way. So let's go like that, and this will give it some dimension. And now we're going to put this on, and we're just going to adhere this flat because I'm going to pop up the hippo, so I don't want everything with dimensionals on, because then you can't really see that there's, a difference in it. Let me see. Now the placement of him is going to be, he's going to be walking on the line. So let me see. I want to go probably about right here. So it's not quite halfway in the middle. Try to get it as straight as you can, like that. Oh gosh. And then if you don't mind, put it so it's right side up, so the M is not upside down. Oh my gosh. Everybody makes mistakes, right? Luckily, that's the advantage of multi-purpose liquid glue. It doesn't glue right away. There we go. All right, now let's stick our little hippo on. And you know what? I think I got him too high. Let me move it down a little bit. Uh-oh, now it might be too tight. Maybe. Oh, I hope I can get this off. All right, what you see is what you get. I'm going to add a little bit more, and I'm going to go down as far as I can without seeing that gunk on the back. I just need to put it down a little bit lower. So we'll go as low as we can without seeing that part where I lifted it. So it's a tiny bit lower. All right, let's see if he fits better. That's pretty good. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is let's put the hippo on. And we will use dimensionals for that. So just a couple will do. And I need to send my friend a thank you. And she loves Diet Coke, but it has to be from McDonald's. Do not ask me why. That is the criteria. Also, we want to hike him back a little bit. So it kind of looks like he's balancing on this line, like he's doing that tightrope, like that. And now we're going to put the Diet Coke on here. Now look what I did. There was a free download online, and so I downloaded this tiny little Diet Coke here. We're going to have to put a dimensional on this because otherwise it won't match up with the hippo. So let me grab my mini dimensionals, and this is where your take a pick tool is going to come in handy. And we're going to put 2 on here, make sure it's secure. And you know, I just giggle because I guess she will drink Diet Coke, maybe if she has to, but she really prefers it, both she and her husband, from McDonald's. It's their little reward they give themselves. Now this isn't going to work very well because I'm left-handed, so I'm going to have to do this right-handed. But here again, we're using that powerful tweezer, and we're going to just stick this in the hippo's hand like that. I want to go under, so it looks like he's holding it. And then maybe like that. Okay, there you go. Now we just need to put that thanks on. So let's grab that. And we are going to add dimensionals again to this. And you know what? We might be able to do foam adhesive strips. Let's do that. Because we, like I just said, we don't want them all the same height. We like variety of heights for when we're using different, well, how do I say it? We want different heights, and if I use dimensionals on all of them, there's no difference. They're all popped up the same. So if we use foam adhesive strips, those are going to pop them up a little bit higher. So I'm just going to cut some little pieces off, and you don't have to put them everywhere. Probably just 2, maybe 3 will do it. I think 2 will do it. Let's just try 2 and see how that works. All right, now we're going to put this right on the bottom here, right below the McDonald's thanks, and make sure that it doesn't go over the edge, otherwise it won't fit in your envelope. And I got to stand again to make sure I'm straight. There we go. You know what? I'm going to hike it up a little bit. As you can see, I'm designing as I go. I guess maybe I should make a practice one first so I have it. Let's go into the card a little bit like this. And over a little bit to the right. And now you can see why I chose real red and crushed curry. There we go. That's our thank you card. And I hope she likes this. And like I said, I hope she didn't see this. And then I'll just write my words of thanks inside for what she gave to me as a little gift. So I hope you enjoyed this project. And if you see any products that you want, and you may want to take advantage of getting the dies for the hippo set or even the hippo set, please use my host code if you put an order in. The host code is RFMKEUXH. And if you use that, plus if your order is over $35, you will receive 3 free Creative You projects. The deadline is July 10th for the July kit. If it's after that, you will get in on August kit. And don't forget, you have to bump your order up a little bit to $50 to take advantage of Celebration. So I hope that you will find something that you like and maybe take advantage of the freebies in Celebration. Thank you everyone so much for joining me. I always love sharing what I've been working on in my craft room. And I will see you next Tuesday morning again at 9 o'clock Arizona time. You guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.